All about the 12 members of Peppa Pig's family. First, Peppa Pig. Meet Peppa Pig, the sassy superstar of the preschool universe who believes she's always right, and let's be honest, she usually is. At 4 years old, Peppa lives to jump in muddy puddles with the glee of a mini swamp explorer. Her favorite outfit, an iconic red dress, and rosy cheeks makes her pop in any crowd, but it's that victorious snort that really seals the deal. When Peppa's not bossing her little brother George, aka Commander of Mr. Dinosaur, into fetching snacks, she's directing family adventures like a tot-sized general. She genuinely thinks she's an expert at everything, from navigating muddy paths to picking the perfect picnic spot. Even Daddy Pig's infamous big tummy moments can't throw her off. She'll happily school him on map reading. Daddy left, not right, without missing a beat. Every episode, she leads her pals on grand quests, whether it's culinary conquests in the kitchen or dramatic horse riding shows. Between her witty one-liners and fearless stunts, Peppa's the ultimate toddler CEO, ruling her world one giggle at a time. Yet after bossing Mummy, Daddy, Granny, and Grandpa through chaotic escapades, she always wraps up with a hearty laugh. Second, George Pig. George Pig is Peppa's adorable 2-year-old little brother whose entire life mission revolves around one goal: find more dinosaurs. He made his grand debut in Mr. Dinosaur is Lost, Season 1, Episode 2, an episode all about his meltdown when his beloved dino toy went AWOL. If you tune in for George, you'll notice he speaks almost exclusively in the word dinosaur or dinosaur in his charming toddler accent. When he's not padding around in his signature blue shirt and red boots hunting for prehistoric pals, he's usually seen clutching Mr. Dinosaur like his life depends on it. Fandom lore confirms that Mr. Dinosaur is his raison d'etre, and losing it triggers tears worthy of any soap opera audition. His best bud is Richard Rabbit, who gamely tolerates George's single-minded scrabbling for fossils in the playground. Nickelodeon's Wiki notes that George also dabbles in space rockets, but let's face it, dinosaurs always come first. It's enough to point out that George's minimal vocab makes his occasional "I love you, mummy" moments all the more precious. Despite his yelps and roars, George's shy side peeks through in episodes like Mirrors, Season 4, Episode 40, where he giggles at his reflection instead of demanding a T-Rex cameo. That little roar, punctuated by snorts, is proof. At 2 years old, George Pig's entire vocabulary is practically prehistoric history. But hey, that's exactly why we love him. 3. Mummy Pig. Mummy Pig is the ultimate multitasker in Peppa's world, juggling toddler tantrums, muddy boots, and the occasional spilled cuppa without breaking a sweat. She's Peppa and George's main source of calm logic, the one who reminds everyone that muddy puddles are fun, but maybe better after breakfast. Her patient tone and gentle smile make her the family's built-in therapist, counselor, and snack coordinator, all rolled into one. But don't let that serene composure fool you. Mummy Pig has a wicked sense of humor, especially when Daddy Pig's expert map reading or DIY fails spectacularly. You'll catch her stifling giggles behind a kitchen counter as Daddy Pig proclaims himself a domestic god, then promptly trips over his own shadow. That little snort of amusement is Mummy Pig's signature move, a reminder that even the voice of reason can't resist a good laugh at Dad's expense. 4. Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig's self-esteem is off the charts. He's a legend in his own mind who's convinced he's the world's best at everything from map reading to DIY. In Windy Castle, S1E6, he confidently takes the wheel and guides the family trip, but his map reading goes so sideways that he has to call Grandpa Pig for directions. When he's not leading tourist expeditions, Daddy Pig dons his tool belt in Daddy Pig, does some DIY, and promptly drills a hole in the living room wall, only to patch it up in the next cut as if nothing happened. Really, Daddy Pig loves nothing more than lounging on the sofa with a newspaper, though he's not as good at map reading as Mummy Pig, and often grumbles about getting lost. He works as a structural engineer and concrete tester, occupations that sound serious until you watch him trip over his own toolkit on camera. The Medium essay on parenting cartoons notes he's the affectionate dad stereotype: jolly, caring, but hilariously prone to childlike blunders that Peppa and George never let him forget. Fans on Reddit joke that his big tummy doubles as a secret flotation device for muddy puddle jumping contests. Also, he suffers from acrophobia, a fear of heights that you'd think would stop a muddy puddle champ, yet he somehow wins every family race. Whether he's missing the exit on a simple drive or fixing a leaky faucet with more patches than success, Daddy Pig's blunders are the comedic glue of every episode. But even when map pins backfire and muffins end up on the ceiling, he wears his failures with a grin, because in Peppa's world, being a bigger-than-life dad is half the fun. 5. Granny Pig. Granny Pig is the warm-hearted yet delightfully chaotic matriarch who runs a garden that's as unpredictable as a muddy puddle slide, complete with chickens, a rooster, and enough vegetables to feed an army of piglets. She first pops up in Gardening, S1E10, cheerfully planting rows of carrots and cabbages, only to have Peppa and George mistake them for treasure maps. Whenever Peppa and George come over for a sleepover at Granny and Grandpa's farm, they're promised homemade chocolate cake and help feeding the chickens. But more often than not, they end up launching eggshells at each other in a flurry of feathered chaos. Despite the mayhem, Granny Pig adores spoiling her little ones, calling them by her affectionate nickname for George, Grangy Ig. She also stars in Frogs and Worms and Butterflies, S1E11, where her carefully orchestrated nature walk turns into a mad dash to catch escaping tadpoles and wayward worms. In Babysitting, Season 1, Episode 15, she nearly burns the kitchen trying to bake scones for afternoon tea, only to have Grandpa Pig rescue the day with his trusty watering can as a fire hose. 6. Grandpa Pig. Grandpa Pig is Granny Pig's husband and the elder statesman of the Pig clan, part-time green thumb guru, part-time river captain, and full-time source of garden pride and bickering. In Gardening, S1E10, his greenhouse brims with tomatoes and a Frankenstein-sized pumpkin, and he can't resist comparing crop yields with Granny. Cue gentle squabble over whose carrots reign supreme. But Grandpa Pig's true love is the open water. In Grandpa Pig's boat, S1E48, he's the captain of his blue vessel, decking the deck with Peppa and George in life jackets as they zoom down the river, where he races Grandpa Dog and beeps at passing ducks. He even moonlights as Mrs. Rabbit's train mechanic, proving no job is too small for his trusty tool belt. 7. Uncle Pig. Uncle Pig is Daddy Pig's big-hearted, slightly clumsy brother who's forever trying, and spectacularly failing, to prove he's just as handy as his sibling, only with more oops-worthy pratfalls. Standing a full head taller than the rest of the Pig clan, he towers over muddy puddles like a friendly skyscraper, his booming laugh echoing across Peppa's world. Married to the eternally poised Auntie Pig, Uncle Pig thinks he's part master mechanic, part pizza chef, yet every time he rolls out the dough or tightens a toolbox screw, something comic happens. Picture him proudly presenting a homemade go-kart, only to watch it collapse in a heap of wheels and squeaky axles. Or imagine him carrying a too-big sofa through the front door, then getting stuck halfway like a real-life game of fruit and furniture Tetris. But beneath the banana peel stumbles, Uncle Pig's heart is pure gold. He's the cousin who brings giant bubble machines to family picnics, sending kids into squealing delight, even if half the bubbles land in Granny Pig's prize begonias. When Peppa and George visit my cousin Chloe, Season 1, Episode 28, he's there, dishing out ice cream cones so big they need 2 hands, and everyone ends up sharing drippy, sweet grins. 8. Auntie Pig. Auntie Pig, the ever-poised sister-in-law of Mummy and Daddy Pig, brings a dash of panic-fueled perfectionism to every family gathering. She's the proud mother of Chloe and baby Alexander, and she wears that responsibility like a badge, always in her signature pink polka-dotted dress, ready to referee toddler squabbles with equal parts flair and mild alarm. Known for her keen eye on etiquette and event planning, she can turn a simple picnic into a miniature royal affair. Tablecloths must be straight, sandwiches cut just so, and teacups aligned in a perfect row. Auntie Pig's personality teeters between loving mum and worrywart supreme. She frets over spilled juice like it's a national crisis, all while insisting that everything be just right. Despite the occasional meltdown, usually over a crooked bunting flag, she adores her niece and nephew, dotes on every squeal from Peppa, and cuckoos at George's dinosaur moments. 9. Chloe Pig. Chloe first appears in My Cousin Chloe, where she visits Peppa's house and declares that she likes grown-up stuff such as drawing maps and reading books. According to Peppa Pig Wiki, she ranks as the oldest child in the Pig clan, giving her an aunt-level status over Peppa and George. She shares her home with baby Alexander, who looks up to her despite her occasional bossiness. She's often the peacemaker in family spats, bridging the gap between toddler tantrums and adult logic. Chloe's personality is a delightful blend of cool composure and youthful flair. She can criticize Peppa's puppet skills one minute, then happily leap in a muddy puddle the next. In Chloe's Big Friends, she introduces Peppa and George to her own group of slightly older pals, revealing her social confidence and ability to host a mini playdate. Zainter, Baby Alexander. Baby Alexander is the adorable but vocal toddler of Auntie Pig and Uncle Pig, introduced in the Season 3 episode Baby Alexander when Peppa teaches him his first spoken word, Puddles. Known for his epic crying fits that can turn a simple playdate into full-on drama, he actually first popped up in Season 2, Episode 31, The Baby Piggy. This baby cries. He cries a lot. His arrival sparks equal parts excitement and chaotic nappy change moments. 11th. Auntie Dotty. Auntie Dotty Pig is Peppa and George's seldom-seen maternal aunt, sister of Mummy Pig and daughter of Granny Pig and Grandpa Pig. She's officially one of the only pigs in the family to wear glasses and one of only 2 to rock a polka dot dress, making her stand out. Fans first heard about her in the Thanksgiving episode, where Mummy Pig gets a call that Auntie Dotty is hopping into a taxi bound for their house, promising groceries and holiday cheer. When she finally arrives, she whisks Peppa and George off to the supermarket for Thanksgiving supplies, turning a simple family breakfast into a festive shopping spree. 12th Great Grandpa Pig. Great Grandpa Pig is the mysterious patriarch who pops up only in Grandpa Pig's nostalgic stories, most memorably in Grampy Rabbit's Dinosaur Park, where Grandpa Pig reminisces about his own granddad teaching him about dinosaurs and gardening. We never actually see Great Grandpa Pig on screen, but from Grandpa's fond grin, you can tell he was a real character. Probably the kind of pig who wore corduroy breeches and carried a pocket watch on muddy mornings. Based on Grandpa Pig's tales, it sounds like Great Grandpa Pig was the original green thumb guru, maybe the one who planted the very first carrots in that legendary vegetable patch. We can guess he set the bar high for family gatherings, teaching little piglets how to spot tracks in the mud or how to rig a makeshift kite out of old newspaper.